Oh fuck.
I love the fact that this video now just starts with "oh fuck."
Wait, so are you recording?
No, I'm not recording Discord. It's just the audio. Don't worry.
Cool. Sweet.
For those wondering why I'm saying that, who's watching this on YouTube, they're all having a little webcam party on Discord at the moment. And I'm just sat here like, oh, the dialogue from this is too amusing. I need to record.
It is really hard to breathe.
It's fairly easy for me to breathe.
I'm sorry, it just flicks from Ranna, who's got this professionally made one, and then it just flicks to Josh with a horse mask.
Hey, it's a professionally made latex mask.
Wait, why is it wrong way around?
It was recording you.
Oh my god, it's a little plushy spider! Where'd you get that?
Buddy!
I wanna get one, and then I wanna get like a onesie or some shit and put it over it, and I'm just gonna name it Nursilla.
Yes.
Josh?
Uh-oh. She's eating deodorant.
I was about to say, Josh, try to take a drink while you're in that.
No. You know what? I will. Maybe I will.
Oh god.
But we're reporting to see how this goes. So far.
Success.
Hey!
No, but Santa, this is Mr. Webby.
There's Mr. Webby.
Yeah, he's from a webcomic that I read.
I love it.
He's the mascot of a webcomic that I read.
Have you ever seen have you ever seen the anime So What, I'm a Spider?
I've seen clips of that.
It's great. It is great. It's by the same people that did That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. It is amazing. The CGI is a bit shit, but it's so good.
Also, I gotta ask now. Ranna.
Yes.
Who's the maker of it?
Right off the top of my head, it's somebody off of Facebook.
So I said the design looks very familiar, but I can't place it.
Your snoot's so fluffy, Ranna.
Thank you.
Anywho, we've been recording for coming up to 3 minutes worth of dialogue of this. I clicked back to Discord at the worst time just to see a damning horse, Josh.
Oh, you've got a Don't Starve hat. Yay.
I've got two.
Now it's Webby from Don't Starve.
What is even happening?
I got Don't Starve hats. I've got the winter hat and the dark winter hat.
I love it.
What is even happening now?
This isn't working.
Join Nestle.
I can't. I don't have a webcam. Also, I'm
ladies have a webcam.
Oh,
I don't have a webcam on my new laptop. It's something I've been looking into, just purely so then I can re-download Phoenyrie.
Oh.
Because I had
Also,
Phoenyrie on my old laptop and that was fun to play with.
My mum decided today was the day to wax my face.
You do realise that's out on YouTube now, Dion.
It's out on there.
My mum decided to watch.
I'm wearing a spider plushie on my head.
No, that part isn't on it. I'm not filming Discord. That'd be way too much to blur out.
But I don't fucking care. Oh, Rada's just looking through the mouth of the fucking thing.
Oh, no. From personal experience,
nightmare fuel.
From personal experience, I will say that is a very good way just to get a bit of ventilation when you're wearing one of those. You just open the mouth and just be like, fresh air.
So Ranna, you know what you should do? You should just like put your arm up in there. So like you're just wearing a full costume, have your hand up in there. So when you walk up to people, you just open the mouth.
It's the biggest sock bucket puppet you've ever seen.
No. Before we start, I need to say a story now that I remember from Expo. We saw someone going around in a full Xenomorph suit. We saw someone going to get their picture taken with them. It was adorable for the first picture, and then they open the mouth and they have a mechanism in there that just rules water.
Yes.
So the first picture is just this woman posing with her, looking, and it's adorable. Second one, it's just her looking horrified as just this drool lands on her head from it.
So
It's amazing.
a little bit of a story. When I went to a Ren fair this one time, when I go to the Ren fair, I normally go as a leper. So I normally dress up as like an old timey biblical leper. Well, one of the dudes that's normally the jester was a leper. And so he has a habit of as the jester spitting like grapes on people and shit like that. Well, he sees me and he's like got his arms open up wide. And he's like, honey, and I'm like, sweetheart. He's like, brother. And so we're just hugging each other. We're just like lepers. He's an amazing dude. I see him like every few years. He works there, and he's just such a fantastic dude. But it was just amazing.
Uh,
I brought some say hello.
Harley.
Oh.
One last quick
So cute.
One last quick con story before we get started then, that I just remember. First time we went, there were a couple of people going around with, I think they were payday masks or like the Joker clown mask from the Dark Knight film beginning, like the bank scene.
I mean, here, if it
And-
exists, it can be a
Yeah,
payday mask.
But
Just say.
we were getting photos with them, and one of them sneaked up behind the other and did like the crouching down thing. So as he turned around, he fell over backwards over his mate. We were there going, oh no, he generally looks hurt. What's happening here? Why is he feeling around on his chest? Is he having a heart attack? He pulls out the small slip of paper, just undoes it, unveils it, and the paper just reads on it, you just lost the game. We were like, that is the
Nice.
most amazing setup for the prank there is. I love it.
When I was in
Girly-
Boy, oh, she's
Funny.
on a rabbit. When I was in Boy Scouts, one of the dude in charge of the water play, the swimming, he pretended that he drowned, and so the lifeguards brought him up and like they were doing stuff on him, and as they were, they pulled a piece of paper out of his mouth and it said, "You lost the game."
Wonderful.
Anyway,
I love
Right
that
back
man.
at Sydney.
anyway,
Yes.
greetings everyone and welcome back to the Dark Tides of Runeterra. Sorry for the extremely long intro there. We got off on several tangents.
Oh, we lost Josh.
What? Oh.
He went out of his room. And now
Oh.
Santa's gone.
Right. Anywho, so last time on Dark Tides of Runeterra, you all found yourselves a new little companion in a baby yeti called Umpa. You all also made your way over to Valois Hollow via a caravan. I'm sure something else happened in that tavern as well, but I can't remember. Oh yes, no, I
We had-
remember. Potoo's been seeing a stroppy person in his sword.
Where are you trying to go?
And as you got to Valois Hollow, you
Huh.
were told to
Hello?
find the Scar Mother to discuss things. But as you did, you found a abandoned building along the way. And upon
Yes.
entering it, you found out this to be the...
Oh, no, Cat's leaving.
What, sorry?
I was doing a villain face with Girly.
You found it to be the childhood home of the twins. And
Yeah.
if I just flip you over to this map at the moment, where there should be two different halves of it, the upper floor and the lower floor. I will quickly remind myself where people were. At this
I'm not
point,
even on right now. Hold on.
at this point, you'd left for the day, Santa, so I just had you mulling around, just exploring. As was the Poro. Kuiper was outside, noticing the damage to the building, noting that this wasn't just wear and tear, but rather something else had happened. Alari had found empty wine bottles, as well as seeing a vision of herself and Delris when they were younger. And if I remember myself where everyone else was, Mariah was up in the twins' room, kind of making dust angels on a bed.
I remember this
Yes.
map.
And Potoo was in the storeroom, having found a burnt-up diary, and decided to take 20 to look around the rest of the room for anything else.
Yep.
I
So,
remember this map.
I know, it's the only map I could find at short notice that was, a winter cabin.
It's okay. Don't worry. I'm just saying that I remember it because I use this map.
You've used this map several times.
I know because it's a really good winter tavern map.
It is. So, since he wasn't here last week, Waffleberg, can I get an investigation from you?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll move on to the 20 with 2. A 24. Okay. So as
Also, I forgot to do this.
Oh no, Kuiper was next to me.
Oh.
Kuiper was next to me because he spoke to me at the end.
Oh yeah, Kuiper did enter the house. Yes.
He was like, "This place is a dump."
Sorry,
It's like,
Josh.
"This
Looks like
is my
you. Looks
home."
like your dice look today is.
Oh,
It's the curse of the horse mask. So, Waffleberg.
No, don't step on my freaking
As
keyboard.
you're looking around the rooms, try to find anything of interest. You, aside from what appears to be a large ursine skin, just carved with its pelt, just used as a rug. You do find what seems to be a note etched in the wall. The note is in Freljordian, however. So if you know Freljordian, you will be able to read it. Otherwise, you may struggle a bit.
This place has very interesting architecture and stuff.
No.
Why are we here again?
Well, at the end, I don't know if you would have actually heard it because Alari, when Kuiper was like, "This place is a dump," Alari did go, "This was my home."
Waffleberg would like to state that whoever the children should not be drawing on walls.
What? Kind of looks over now.
What?
Umpa just kind of pounces the bear rug, just starts gnawing on it.
That's a bit old there, dear.
Screw it. She's teething. We'll allow it.
I'll kind of walk over to the wall.
Yep. You look at the wall. Takes you a bit because even though you are originally from the Freljord,
Who the hell built that?
Seen Freljordian.
Like I just want to ask, who the hell builds a house out of wood? What kind of insane people were these people? Like,
what
the metal
like?
spikes?
It's written in Freljord, so it takes a bit just to comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
But the more you look at it, the more you kind of remember. You remember your parents lining both you and Delris up against the wall and kind of just marking off your height every birthday. Just every birthday, they mark it off, show how far you've grown and such. But as you're looking at the sizes as they go up, well, yes, your mother would have done so. But
yeah, because the other one.
As you look further up, after a certain point, the writing changes, as does the tool used. You can't help but think that this writing is a lot more familiar. And then you realize.
He just kind of touches it, like.
Yeah, and then you realize, after a certain point, it goes from someone's writing to yours.
This. She's just kind of running her fingers over the kind of writing.
Still.
It's like,
Turn.
Huh?
Stand still and turn around.
Why?
Just stand still, turn around, and just stand like straight.
Okay.
Cool. Waffleberg's going to take out a knife, mark the top part of where Alari is. There we go. You've grown this big.
Waffleberg?
You do
Roll.
realize this is Delris's height.
Oh,
Waffleberg.
I'm a lot taller than Delris, actually.
Roll me a dex check, Waffleberg.
Waffleberg would like to state that at this point in time, you both are kind of the same. So apologies. Yeah, Waffleberg's not the most.
That's
So,
that's deception.
oh, okay. That's thank God. Is it dex check?
Yeah,
Save.
a dex check.
Will you chill out for 2 seconds while I'm playing D&D?
That's right, so yeah, you carve it in perfectly. In fact, you even seem to mimic the similar writings to how it would be in Freljordian.
Congratulations. You're on a wall now.
I mean, I was already on this wall.
You're on it again.
Like, I wrote part of this wall.
Oh.
Yes, from here up to, well, where you just marked. I did this.
You will notice upon inspecting that there is a point where Alari's height was taller than Delris's, but then it reaches a certain point in the years where Delris just kind of shoots up in height compared to Alari.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of figured they may be like the early teens years.
Yeah.
It was also way before then when the writing had changed. The writing
Yeah.
changed, I'd say probably like
6 or 7
Yeah.
years old.
like around the 6-ish years.
You didn't write all of it, did you?
No. This part down here. It's kind of. It's familiar, but. It was maybe our mother? But she stopped writing it when we were about 6.
Did she? Excuse me?
No.
Did she? What's Moonman? What's the nicer way of putting it other than pop the broke, kick the bucket, ate a frog?
I don't get the impression that she's dead, no.
Oh, so then she was deadbeat and left.
Well, considering from what I ow! Sorry. Considering what I remember,
Just Sharky Teeth having a nibble.
it's like Sharky, no.
Deep is feeling.
It's like, from what I remember, she was drinking a lot. And she would yell at us sometimes. I don't remember properly, but I'm guessing all those wine bottles are hers.
How old are the wine bottles?
The wine bottles are quite old. Like you hear that sono is many years ago, but you get the feeling that they were probably just bought that way, like vintage. But the layers of dust that are on the ones that Alari, didn't pick up are heavily caked on, some of them kind of being half full still. You get the feeling that, yeah, no, these things have been there a while and not been touched.
So this house, it's in one piece, right? It's not in ruins.
There's some of it that seems to be in ruins, some of it that seems to be rotting, particularly the stairs. On the outside, when you entered, you did see quite a bit of damage on the outside.
Do the height things stop at a certain age?
They do, yes.
What age about?
I'd say roughly You're so- Sorry about that.
They were like 6 or 7 when their mother left.
Yep,
They're about 19 now.
yep. Ends around 16.
Well, it doesn't seem. They were here for a while. So we were about 16, it seems.
There anything we're specifically looking for that you can remember specifically? Or we just
I don't know. I remembered then that she would yell at us when we were playing. But I don't even really remember what she looked like. Or who she was, other than a drunk.
As you're saying
probably
this,
a little bit. Oops, sorry.
as you're saying this, Alari,
Mm.
you hear the childish calls again.
Mhm.
As your vision just fades in and out a bit. You swear for a brief moment. You can see yourself at a younger age, along with Delris. Just lining up at the wall. Delris just mocking you slightly because she's getting a bit taller than you height-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And then she lets out a call of, well, if you always want to be a bit taller, we can always use this. She heads over to the chair that's been in the corner. And even in the vision, you can tell that chair's been quite dusty. And you see your younger self call out, telling her to stop. That's your mother's chair, and it needs to be remain untouched until she returns.
Yeah. We didn't go near that corner.
Which corner?
Points at the chair.
Go near it.
This was Mother's chair. We didn't want to touch it in case she came back. She'd be angry.
I'm gonna be honest here, and Moonman, stop me if I'm saying too much. But by the looks of the place, I don't think she's been back for a while. Sit down.
What?
Sit down. It's a
Hey.
chair.
I don't think.
She'll just kind of like press on it a bit, like the cushion a bit, to make sure it's not just going to collapse in on itself.
You press down on it, just to quickly check, just to make sure. It creaks a bit, so a lot of the dust just kind of kicks off. But it seems like it'll be stable enough.
You pussies.
She'll then kind of sit in it.
Yep, it creaks.
Waffleberg did you mending to make sure it doesn't break.
Okay, give me a second for that. Because I've been trying to open something up here, and it's like... Because Joe, like, I made notes for the backstory thing you said.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to open it up with that, and they were like, oh, you know, we'll open it up with Word. Oh, look, you need a Word account to use this. You don't have one? Too bad, closing. So I just had to open up in OpenOffice.
Yeah.
Okay, I just had to read something up then. I got something wrong.
Oh.
Oh, no, wait, I did get something wrong. It's just that, yeah, never mind. The one thing that I did notice, you didn't give names. I think you said it's up to me to make the names.
If you want to make the names of the parents, yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't give them names.
So as you sit down, the dust getting on you, you don't feel too comfortable. But that's less to do with how the chair is and just more your general feeling you're getting. Your hand runs over a carving on the left armrest. And it's
Yep.
two initials separated by a heart. L, heart, M.
Mm-hmm.
And for the love of it all, you run your finger over it. No names come to mind.
I don't remember
And then
the.
the engravings fade.
Huh?
I mean, mending wouldn't destroy the engravings.
Would it not?
No,
Where's this
mending would just
engraving object?
mending would just any tears or breaks in the chair itself, but engravings it wouldn't destroy them.
Okay. Just needed to make sure on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's still there. Your finger just traces the letters.
And mostly Waffleberg's just using it on the bottom of the chair to make sure that she doesn't fall through it.
Okay.
If you want, you can roll me a history, Alari.
Okay. I mean, I'll do it, but like, likelihood she'd know her parents' names are kind of.
I mean,
Okay.
it is a high D. It depends really on which one. Like, they've got two different DCs for them.
Well, the mother, I guess she could have heard it in passing, but like, really, did you know your parents' names at like 5, 6, or 7 years
Exactly.
old? Like,
That's why it's high DCs. But you never
her
know.
parents probably not. Her father probably not much at all because
Oh yeah, no. I will say this just above game and that lot. That's a nat 21 you're looking at there.
yeah.
It's not come up the roll yet. Oh, there. I didn't know if it were doing the like thing again. 21. Okay. The L. You can't place it. The M, however. Hang on. Luckily I opened up a new window this. There we go. The name is Marit.
Marit.
M-A-A-R-I-T.
Maari.
Quite literally, I just looked up Scandinavian female names beginning with M. And yeah, just looking at what the name kind of represents, that works. So yes, the name Marit comes to mind.
Marit. I think that was my mother's name. No, I can't exactly be sure.
Anything else?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't think we were ever really allowed to sit in this chair.
Well, then revel in it.
What?
You get to
Why?
finally see.
I mean, this corner of the room wasn't exactly the nicest place to be.
Just a corner of a room.
I mean, has he been saying anything?
No need to
No.
be.
Just acid stream.
No.
Just acid streams the chair.
This corner was not a nice place to be in. Acid streams it. Is it nicer now? Bad
Well,
corner.
never mind. We got to it first.
Freaking Kuiper dropping acid in the corner. So,
I hope there wasn't anything important in the chair.
well, that is going on downstairs. We will go to upstairs and with Potoo, who was taking their time to search around the storeroom for any more evidence. And for the most part, it just seems to be family heirlooms. Any old pictures or drawings that have been of the family seem to have been defaced. Some of it you could tell is like childish scribbles, basically the equivalent of if a kid gets hold of something, they will draw on it situation. Some of it seems a bit more malicious, such as the family together, but with, say, the father's face scribbled out, or some with just the mother's face scribbled out.
Hmm.
The only thing that doesn't really seem to
I'll
be
most likely take
affected in
pictures as well.
the only thing that doesn't really seem to be affected in the pictures are the two children. The two children with an even in this more artistic form rather than say like if it was a photograph or something, given the times and it's in the Freljord. You can tell between the red hair and skin and the bluer hair and bluer skins. These two look very familiar to you. Given you already saw Delris's name in one of the unburnt parts of the diary, you put two and two together. This is the twins' home. And then you find a map. And the map quite clearly has circled on it. And this is where I need to hop over to the other map to remember the name. Rygan's Reach.
Okay.
And you flip the map over. On the back, there seems to be rough notes. All in old Freljordian, making it a bit hard for you to read.
Hmm.
And as you try and figure out if there's anything there at least that you can get the idea of or the grip of, it's kind of hard to focus, especially when you've just got what I'm assuming is the cacophony of noises coming from the room Mariah went into, due to Mariah probably just bouncing around on the beds and kicking dust up everywhere. And the small circus in her hair just being like, trying to get rid of the dust that has now been absorbed.
I'm torturing
Storm.
you.
Who did we just lose?
Well,
Hmm.
we didn't lose someone, we gained someone. Hi, Zach.
Well,
It's-
Zach left and then came back, I think.
It's the dust
But
bowl.
definitely heard someone.
Well, I've seen everyone here.
I definitely heard someone
Someone
leave.
blinked out.
So...
Someone did leave.
Oh,
and come
mine glitched, but and then it
Ah,
joined me back
that'd be why.
immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
For some reason, I've been handed a small wheat pie.
So,
So,
unless
uh,
go ahead.
as I said, it's all in old and Freljordian. It's kind of hard to make out. But as you've been searching through, you have realized one thing at least.
Hmm.
It looks like you weren't the first person here. But it looks like someone else has been rooting through this place.
Is it painfully obvious who it might be, or
Roll me another investigation.
how could he? 'Cause it painfully obvious who it might be, or... Oh, goody. Investigation. That is an 18.
With an 18, you see a couple of telltale signs. Oddly enough, one looks fresher than the other. The older looking of the two seems to be an engraving on the side of one of the cabinets in here. A mark that you've
Right.
seen recently. It's the Winter's Claw mark. The other is less of a mark, more a couple of droplets on the ground. A couple of vivid neon green droplets.
Okay. Gathering up everything, including the pictures, and I'm going downstairs.
Okay. So as you head downstairs, Mariah,
Yes.
you roll me an investigation while you're in their room. Let's see what you get. As you're bouncing around and just sleeping around the beds, something falls out from one of the beds and scatters onto the ground.
She'll stop bouncing and see what it is.
Seems to be a small doll.
She's keeping it for now by carrying it still, just in case it's something of use, since we're trying to find out stuff.
It's cool. It's clearly quite an old doll. It looks like it's had some wear and tear over the years.
She'll hold it in her hands and then continue to bounce on
Okay.
the beds.
So as you're heading downstairs, Potoo, you're still hearing the boing, boing, boing from the room. And you will be roughly here. Oops. So as everyone downstairs is discussing, you see Potoo heading downstairs with several things in his arms.
What? What are those?
Pictures and map, and I see some other stuff upstairs. It appears that you are not the only ones who've been here.
She'll just kind of walk over.
Yep. You walk over. What's the first thing you're going to be looking at? Also, make me a perception as you walk over, Alari.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't hear it. So, you've got the documents, the burnt up map. Not the burnt up map, the burnt up diary. The map. And the photos.
Yep.
Which are you going to be looking at first, Alari?
I guess I'll look at the photos.
You look to the photos.
Yep.
There's 4 photos there, I'm going to say. Oh, 4 art drawings. The first one seems to be of a young couple together. The male of the two has had their face scribbled out though. The woman looks happy. Looks like she's having the best day of her life. They are both dressed in what seems to be like regal clothing for the area.
Yep.
The second photo is more like an on location type of thing. Doesn't seem to be in any village or any home. Seems to be them out in the wilderness. The man's face scribbled out once more. The female looking a bit tired, a bit haggard, but still happy, and quite clearly showing signs of pregnancy.
Yeah.
The third one is just of the mother, well, the woman, and two babies. No faces scribbled out on this one. But on the fourth one, where the kids are looking a little bit older, the mother's face has been scribbled out.
Hmm.
But you get the feeling the scribbles weren't done shortly after this was made. It feels like they were done years after.
Yeah.
And you think back to the vision you had earlier of the two young uns running around and being shouted at,
Hmm.
and the face comes to mind of the woman in the pictures.
Sorry?
The face comes to mind of the woman that's in the pictures. This is
Yep.
quite literally pictures of your family.
That's her. Just whether she realizes it or not, her expression turns a little sour,
Mhm.
looking upon her mother.
Potoo, you notice that. You notice as Alari's looking at the photos more and more, her expression just grows sour.
Hmm. Do you not want these?
Huh? What?
You're looking rather sour at the pictures.
No, it's. This is my mother, I guess. What else? She'll just kind of put them away, and it's like, what else did you find?
Before you put them away, can I ask you both to roll me a quick investigation?
Oh, okay.
Investigation.
Investigations. Alari is very distracted tonight.
Potoo, you notice something unusual about the scribbles. As if the scribbles that were over the man's face slightly different than the style that was over the mother's face. Oh god, to play Patty Kit
Okay.
with baby Yetiberg. As you do so, Waffleberg, make me a perception check. There's something in the bear rug's mouth.
Waffleberg will reach for it with his metal arm.
And as you reach for it, your hand clasps around something cylindrical and something metal.
You'll grab it.
Yep, you're pulling it towards you,
You'll pull it, yeah.
and as you do so, you see the wire attached to it.
Ah, shit. Before anything happens, Waffleberg's going to yell at Alari as he's going to quickly toss Yetiberg at Alari.
Uh,
Why?
Make me a deck save, Alari. You successfully catch a baby Yeti with no issue.
oh my gosh!
Meanwhile,
What?
Waffleberg's activating the trap from Dead Mama.
What the fuck, Waffleberg?
So,
Why'd you toss the baby?
as you look over Alari, you see him holding a metal cylinder in his metal arm with like a wire going into the bear rug.
Potoo,
Is that a can for communication? It
are
just
you
reminds me
good
of the
with
cannon.
traps?
I have the tools to take care of it.
Maybe look at what Waffleberg's holding.
Okay. Just kind of gives the rest of everything
Yep.
to
Yeah.
Alari.
Baby in one
Right on
hand,
top.
papers in the other.
Slightly burnt journal as well.
Yeah.
So Waffleberg, Potoo, and Kuiper make me perceptions since Kuiper's also there. Okay. There's definite ticking.
Fun.
Kuiper,
Mhm.
on the fur of the bear rug, you now notice a couple of green droplets.
Droplets?
Potoo, you quite clearly see on the cylinder, just on one side of it, a Zonite mark.
Singed.
What?
Yes, he's been here. That's what I was trying to tell you earlier.
I mean, well,
What
he
do you-
did abduct us from the Feliard. It makes sense that he can know about
People,
things.
trap,
What?
ticking.
I can't do anything about it.
Looks around.
That's why I
Well-
said to go investigate. They've got the tools.
Look, if everybody just steps back, I can handle this.
You're not going to handle it by just taking it and dying, are you?
No.
Why did that not sound very believable?
What's the investigation for?
Can I try and disarm it?
You have to use your
It's a sleight of
thieves
hand. I remember.
tools.
Yeah, it's a sleight of hand.
Yes.
If you have the thieves' tools, that would be with advantage. But first things first. Josh, what's the investigation for?
Look for a way of disarming.
It seems at the moment that the trap itself isn't the canister, but more that was a means to get something to be pulled. The real trap lies in the bear itself.
I'm resistant to the majority of poisons and toxins, and by that I mean I'm not actually resistant, I just think I am.
Yes, but you can
Just opens the bear
try.
mouth without much,
Yep.
without much explanation.
It's an 8 and a natural 20.
So with advantage.
And saying how I'm using advantage.
So-
Yes.
As you look inside there, Kuiper, you see that there are a couple of tanks in there that are connected to this wire. If the wire is pulled any further, those will activate. Potoo, as you're getting an eye on that, you decide, first things first, the best step is slide them out back towards the wire. Because if the wire is pulled too far, that will activate them. This will give you a bit more reach, which then gives you the chance just to try and disable it. And it takes you a little bit, but not only do you manage to disable it, you also figure out what kind of trap this is. These were fire bombs.
If I can salvage them, I want them.
I mean, with that nat 20, you've got it to the point where you could salvage them, but they are quite
So-
heavy.
Wait, question. You said they're fire bombs?
Yes.
Are they like Zonian design, or are they very specific, like not necessarily Jinx happy face, but like a Hex Tech happy face kind of design to them?
They're Zonite.
Okay, cool. I mean, still technically Zonite on the other one, just making sure here.
Considering we know that Singed is in the Feliord, it's
Yeah,
the same stat.
But there's another dude that may or may not work for Singe sometimes. That Waffleberg was like, eh.
What?
So, can I move now?
Yes, I believe you can.
Cool, because I actually didn't have a plan. I was just gonna catapult the thing down into the floor.
While we're still in the building.
Good
now
point.
Now that it's been disarmed, can I like yeah, my hands are full. I'll put the other papers away for a second and hand Upa to Kuiper.
Okay.
And I'm
Alari,
going. What?
you do know that this means that he knew that this was your house, which I don't want to be the one to point it out, but at the same time, better me, the crazy one, than people who are sane to do it. But this probably means there's a good chance that maybe your parents sold you to him? Because he knows?
I don't know. But I know that he abducted us from here.
Upa.
Well, there's
Let's-
writing on the map if you take a look at it, so whatever
I'll take
it says.
a look in a moment, but I have a suspicion.
Upa just leaps to Kuiper and just starts gnawing on his ear.
It's like, ow, 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 ow.
No, don't break my moon, man.
Wouldn't that be more of a
Ow.
pounce than a
Ow.
I'm going to drag the Ursine rug over to the corner
Okay.
and see if there's anything under it.
Just where it seems to have been the firebombs just resting on the wooden planks, but it seems to have a couple of scuff marks as well, which makes you think it could have been a recent thing. Aside from that, there's nothing really underneath the rug.
Okay, I'll pull out the map now and look at it.
Yep. You look at the map. It marks Varka's Hollow,
Mm-hmm.
and there is writing on the other side.
What's it say?
It's like an explorer's log,
Oh.
just of notes from some explorer, noting their travels across the Freljord, trying to find the source of energy that could stop the war. The one that came from the ancient texts, the World Rune.
There it is again.
There is also notes that he did not travel alone. He traveled with his wife. And his wife at the time was keeping it a secret for the most part until she finally revealed it halfway into their journey that she was carrying.
This seems to be my father's log.
And
I think my father.
the final log notes Farkar's Hollow as being potentially the resting place of the World Rune.
Interesting.
So, knowing the big boy
Ah,
probably already headed there.
yes.
How many firebombs are there, by the way?
It was 2 medium-sized tanks.
Medium-sized tanks. Waffleberg, I remember Potoo wanted to grab them. So Waffleberg will look at Potoo. Can I have one of those?
I don't mind giving you at least one. After all, you did find them.
Waffleberg will take one.
Okay. You can both add a firebomb tank to your inventories.
Alari, there was other papers like drawings and stuff as well, wasn't there?
There was a burnt-up diary.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to remember what else I said.
Like kids' drawings.
Yeah, kids' drawings.
I have an idea for those bombs, by the way.
Two.
There are a couple
If you
of
add a switch to them, I can activate them
there,
from
there are-
like a mile away.
there are a couple of kids' drawings here, and you can tell they're in 2 different styles. One of them,
I mean,
Yep.
hang on.
Mm.
One of them seems to be a bit more childlike drawing-wise. Soon to depict more happier times, happier scenes. But they seem to stop after a while. As if the child drawing them just gave up on drawing for the most part to focus on other things.
Hmm.
The other one, they're a bit more somber. They depicts happy families at first. Then it just depicts like sad children and like a broken home type of situation. And as you're flicking through them, you see one that is quite clearly not a drawing but just someone venting.
Yeah.
Just written in large letters. Why did she abandon us? Does she hate us? Why does everyone hate us?
She'll just kind of fold them up and put them away
Mhm.
before looking at the journal.
The journal has said, heavily burnt. It's hard to tell, for the most part, anything. The only one thing you can pick out is the name Delris.
Waffleberg. Waffleberg. You know mending, correct?
Yes.
Could you attempt to mend this book?
Um. The book in question. How bad? I imagine it's like written words missing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it's very much burnt to a crisp.
I can try.
We could both try. It looks beyond repair,
Yeah,
though. I
it
hate to
looks
say.
it looks more akin to less, oh, this accidentally caught fire, put it out now. More like someone just threw it into a fireplace and let it burn.
Somebody wanted this gone.
Does it seem like recent? Does it still like smell smoke, or is it like
Oh no, no,
old?
no, no. The smell of smoke has gone for this from quite some time back.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's old.
I'm sorry, Alari, but I can't. Mending requires the entire thing to at least be there. It repairs cracks or holes. I can't repair words that I don't know would be there.
It's okay.
Also, to answer your question there, Ranna,
I also
don't
only
worry
can't
about weight.
left.
It only says Delris on it. Either this was her diary or she was written about in it.
Mariah, make me a dex save.
Was there anything else upstairs?
Uh,
We're about to find out.
yeah, you all of you downstairs, you hear a thud.
What?
Like kind of like two thuds.
Oh crap, we left
Yeah,
Mariah
Mariah's still up
alone.
there.
It's like,
Oh,
oh
dear.
crap, we left Mariah
Back
alone.
up the stairs we go.
Yep. Be careful, they don't look too clever.
Yeah, they are kind of rotted stairs. So as you all,
I'm a lightweight bird.
that is true. As you all rush upstairs,
Waffleberg might have more trouble.
I'll say if you just take your time, it's fine. You don't need to roll anything for the stairs.
I was also going to say that I don't know why I'm the same weight as you, if not more, because you're actually taller than me and I'm old. And
You're the one with metal parts.
Oh, they don't weigh any more than a normal limb. They're not like they look metal, but I mean they're magic. Like
Potoo,
Never
Yeah,
mind then.
it's cool, right?
Potoo?
We also
Yeah.
we also have to worry about Mariah. Let's go.
Yeah, Potoo, you lead them to the room where you heard Mariah bouncing.
Waffleberg will come too, just to prove,
Yeah,
mostly to
also
show,
covering.
mostly to show that he does actually way less than Potoo.
And you will find, as you enter the room, one of the beds broken, the other one fine. What seems to be a crack in the roof, and Mariah lying down on the ground. Essentially, but
Mariah?
while the springs kind of blew and rocketed Mariah into the roof and then hit the ground.
Are you alive?
Fridge Lordy Spring.
I can fly.
She's alive.
Alari,
Yeah.
you see what she's carrying. You see the doll.
Hmm?
This wasn't your doll, but it's very familiar. You feel
She'll
this.
just kind of pick it up.
You feel this may have been Delris's doll.
This belonged to Delris.
Make me an investigation.
No.
Nope.
I give it a go.
If you're leaning over looking at this doll,
What was it again?
investigation.
Perception or
Investigation.
investigation? Okay.
Oh,
Perception would be you
Dirty
see the doll.
20.
Investigate. You see what seems to be.
I love that everyone's just climbed over Laurie's shoulder to have a look.
It's just like Mariah's on the floor still. Everyone's just ignored her looking at this doll. Kuiper and Potoo. You see what seems to be a little slit in the back of this doll.
Well, I hope they didn't plant a grenade in the doll. Just kind of pokes the slit.
You feel something inside of it, but it doesn't
Oh.
feel anything metallic or anything dangerous. Just feels like paper.
I'll open it.
I'm going.
There is a note written inside of it.
I'll
As
pull
if
it out.
someone's ripped out a diary page.
Open it up.
Yeah, again, this seems to be in right ancient Freljordian, but a bit more childlike. Just pretty much a child's worries. Just noting such like, Mother has not come back yet. Sis says that she'll be back soon, that she'll come back for us, but she still isn't here yet. The town are growing ever more hateful to us. I don't know why. Why does everyone hate us? Why did you go? I found new friends, but Alari, my sister, doesn't like them too much. I would show Sis these, but I'm afraid of what Sis would say. At least you will keep these safe. And that's what the note says.
Remembering the day Mother left. We were alone. Delris was still. Just kind of sits down on the good bed. Delris was still a child. She didn't know.
You feel a squish as you sit in the bed.
Squish.
I'll kind of stand up again.
There's just a purple smear on the bed.
What?
A poor eggplant.
Oh.
I'm petty.
I didn't know he was there.
I was lost in the land of the dust.
Either way,
This is what I can make that I'm not.
we were alone. I was trying to take care of us both, I guess. Delris just still acted like a kid.
Umpa just kind of reaches out and takes the doll. Just cuddles.
I'm sure she won't mind. In fact, she hasn't even met you yet.
She now has 2 dolls.
Yeah. I don't remember anything about these friends she's talking about. But I do remember.
You don't think that?
Hmm?
You don't think these friends could have been the people who abducted you, do you?
No. They're most likely someone from one of the factions or something. I don't know. I don't really remember. And even if it was someone who took us, why did they wait so long? We were here after we were 16, and as far as I know, we've only been away from here for a year. Maybe just over a year? That's as far as I can remember. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Either way, there were... I remember the people here didn't like us. At all. I think they were afraid. I don't know.
McCarthy. Sorry about
And in
that.
all
Just
honesty, I'm not really sure where we go from here.
just sorry about that. Just as you were doing that, McAfee decided to do a pop-up going, if you want to renew, you can have this discount.
Yeah. It's like, honestly, I don't really know where to go from here. We could try talking to that Scar mother, but I don't think it's a good idea. I think it'd probably be a better idea if just 1 or 2 of us went in instead of all of us. Maybe some hang back here, maybe, with Umpa. I really don't think it's a good idea to be walking around town with a baby Yeti.
Waffleberg can go and talk to this political individual of Mass and Port.
No. I will definitely go. Because I am from here. But I'm not sure how she'll react to outsiders. Olaf made it seem like they weren't too fond.
And yet you are not going alone.
I don't know who to take.
Take Waffleberg. Look,
Okay,
you
the only one
either take
comfortable leaving on babysitting duty then is Kuiper.
exactly.
And even then, he's outnumbered.
Worried Kuiper face.
Okay, but you just have a moment of being like, outnumbered. What do you mean? There's only one babe. And then you look to right. It's like, oh.
You go alone. Singe gets you. Who knows Singe better than Waffleberg? Also, it's either that or you let Waffleberg alone here with Moonman and a baby.
Please take Waffleberg.
Okay.
Dellara will head up there and be like, if it helps any, I will go along with you too.
Maybe you should stay here and give Kuiper backup.
Actually, I think she is probably the most persuasive one of us, in the sense that she's the only one that won't lose her cool, and if insulted by the others, will end up sassing them.
Hmm.
Let's be honest, Alari. We're people persons, but we're not the kind of people persons that always make conversations with unpleasant people pleasant.
I'm not going to argue. I am fairly quick to temper.
Potato is potato, and Mariah is bomb.
No.
No offense, Mariah.
Mariah forgets she's not glamoured half the time.
I'm just imagining just a camera passed out to Mariah, still half with it after hitting her head on the roof.
I'm still flying.
I see
They're
the
like,
clouds.
Point taken.
Yeah. Okay, let's just go.
Come on, let's not waste more time.
Okay.
Also,
You guys
is
stay
there-
here.
Potoo.
Are there any other places you wish for us to investigate?
I think for now you should stay here, see if you can find anything else hidden in the house.
Potoo.
Make sure there aren't any more traps.
As
No.
they mentioned going to see the Sky Mother, your mind does race back to the other thing you found in that room. The Winter Claw engraving.
Scarmother's leader.
Find a weird engraving in the room as well where I found all those papers. A winter's claw symbol.
Cool, it means you're ally. See? You are panicking over nothing.
Let's go. You guys stay here and look around a bit more and make sure the baby and the Yordle, not Kuiper Yordle, doesn't get themselves into more trouble.
I really need to set up a custom skill saying just roll on the trouble chart.
Because just don't let Mariah get abducted by floating cupcakes.
Mundo like patience.
Let's go.
You just come back, Alari and Delris' home has just been converted into Mundo Clinic.
Let's just go and
Wow, you're branching out.
So, it is Waffleberg,
Stellara.
Stellara, and Alari heading up. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Fucking hell.
I will say that you will also be tagged along by something as well.
By the fucking...
Yeah,
Yep.
by Pinco.
Yep. Just go there like...
As well, Pinco would see it as an opportunity to be able to torture Kuiper more. Pinco is also very curious about what's going on.
Okay, so we head up to the tavern that Olaf told us about.
Yep. This one is a lot bigger than the one you were in previously. And out the front, you see what seems to be a large pen. Filled with what seems to be large boar-like creatures.
Boars.
Piggies!
Maybe like don't touch them.
You will know that these are. If I could
Why are
find
you saying that to me? You're the one I have to stop from touching animals, you and your sister.
Well, I have a little more self-control.
You do. I'll give you that.
let me just look this up to see what their names are, because I think I've got the name right, but at the same time, it's better to make sure. I did not have them right. I was thinking that they were razor tusks.
Totally not
They are-
Avian death.
They are Druvask.
Dravask.
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 Giant warhogs of the Freljord.
Cool. It's like warhogs, Dravask.
Piggies.
They're warhogs. But
Yep.
sure. Anyway.
And there is... and as you're looking at these things, there is one in particular that all the rest seem to be giving a wide berth to.
Mm-hmm.
A large white-furred one.
Okay.
And if you give me a second, I just need to grab a couple of things.
Just to be clear, I do know this one. I know who the Scar Mother is.
Oh yeah, you know who the Scar Mother is.
And I know who her pig is. I researched the Feliord a little.
This is not the Scar Mother that I had in mind for it though.
Oh. Thought she was the current one, so that's why I was.
She is the current boss, but there are other Scar Mothers as well that are running
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah. Scar Mother is it's a title of the eldest female warriors that have proven themselves to be leaders. But the one that you're thinking of, she is the current leading Scar Mother. But the other ones, there are more than just one person with the title of Scar Mother.
Yeah.
They're the leaders. They're the leaders of the clans, or sorry, they're the leader of like the sort of like family clans, and then the one that's overall their overall faction is the one that you're thinking of.
Oh, okay.
That being said, you're not wrong when you say that it looks kind of familiar as, yeah, the boy that you see in the pen is that boar.
Oh.
I'm trying to find
Ew.
where the picture was here so I can get it uploaded here as well, because I'm sure I saved it to here, but I can't find it and it's annoying me.
I've never actually seen a pig before.
Well, I guess their survival rate isn't great in Zon. Or, I don't know, Shurima. I can't imagine them being good in the desert.
Wait, what? Did that not?
What desert?
That was weird. Apparently I didn't save the image.
Doesn't matter.
You're right.
So yes, you see those queuing outside and you can hear a lot of noise coming from inside the tavern.
Hmm? Ah, okay. Best behavior.
Yeah, for safety reasons.
That's a thing.
Yes, it is. Best behavior.
That's what I just said.
God damn it, it's done the thing again where I've tried to drag it onto the map and then it glitched out. So I may need to refresh the page, but yeah, that's the boy that you see.
Where? Oh, there. Yeah.
And let me just refresh the page so I don't have that image hanging halfway onto the map. Because Roll20 likes to mess with me when I do that. There we go. And as you enter, you see a whole host of people just crowded around, drinking, eating meat, shouting loudly, some of them getting into their own little fights. So as you can assume, it's like over such petty things as someone thinking this stole the other one's drink, some just gambling and losing and being sore losers, or even some just boasting that they're stronger than others and then trying to prove it. And over at the far end, you'll see someone sat down, just watching all this happen with a large grin on her face.
Yep, I'm guessing that's her.
You see her.
Where? Oh, yep. I don't know who she is, but you know.
I do. Just because I have her in one of my decks.
She's just there drumming her fingers as she watches everyone. And
just-
a couple of people take notice of you as you enter. Most people's eyes are mainly drawn straight away to Waffleberg. Mainly as it's unusual to see Fastians up here that aren't the Earth sign.
What Vastian?
You know, the bird.
Waffleberg looks like a normal, everyday human being as he is using his masquerade tattoo.
Okay. So they look at you for a moment, confused, and then they look again. It's like, it's just another of those hoity Zornites here.
To be fair, he is still wearing his Piltoverine clothes.
Oh yeah, Piltover. Well, those hoity Piltoverines then.
Ow!
And then they all look
Fucking
over. Are you okay there?
She took her fucking nail right into me neck.
Oof.
Youch.
You're still glamoured up at the moment as well, in a way, aren't you, Alari?
What?
So that you're not showing the skin tone too much.
She wasn't doing that in the first place.
Okay.
She never hid her skin tone. But she
Okay.
does look like Alari.
Okay, so you're still quite blue skin toned.
Yeah, but the kind of dark blue that
Yeah.
she normally.
So as soon as the confusion goes from trying to look at Waffleberg, all eyes lock on you. The room kind of goes quiet. You definitely hear some people draw their weapons.
It's kind of looking.
Hello! Hi, everybody want a drink? I'm new here. There's a lot of drinks. Testing out the beer. Who wants a free drink?
There's still just a bit of silence, and then one of them goes, "Is that one with you?"
Which one? There's a lot.
The thrall.
I'm not a thrall.
Oh, speak.
Nah,
She speaks.
it's not one of those emotions with his robot hand. If it was, I'd be dead. I think. What's a thrall?
There's
I
a
work, bitch.
there's a lot of muttering.
And I'm not a thrall.
There's quite a bit of muttering. Then so it goes. I suppose a thrall normally wouldn't be talking too much like that. Plus, I don't know, it's unusual. There seems to be less an air of cold around them.
Well, that's because my friend here's a very warm-hearted individual.
They do seem to show less a tendency for being controlled and more free will. You know what? I'll take you up on that drink.
Yes, Waffleberg will order everybody a drink.
That is a lot of people.
Drinks don't cost a lot, and Waffleberg's got a lot of money.
That is true. So if you're buying people the rounds,
Don't claw my neck again, please.
you're still getting some eyes there, Alari.
She just kind of gives them defiant glares back. Like anyone who stares at her.
And as you're giving the faint stares back, there is quite clearly a table where a couple of people instantly avoid your gaze.
I'm guessing everyone else has just been kind of staring me down back,
Yeah,
sort
they're
of thing.
like a lot of them has tried to stare you down, seeing it as a challenge. Some of them have just shrugged and gone back to their stuff. This one table just seems to be the ones where it's like, as soon as they see you looking over, they'd look away.
She'll kind of head closer to that table.
And as you
Hello.
do so, they'll just turn, look to you. Yes?
Well, you see, everyone else here has been giving, disinterested glares or trying to stare me down back. But you straight up turned away as soon as you saw. Care to tell me why that is,
We
friend?
weren't turning away from you, we were turning away from her.
Huh?
The motion to Stellara.
Why were you turning away from her?
Well, look at her.
What about her?
She's not from round here, and I know your friend isn't from around here either, but at least he's buying drinks. She's just
Waffleberg.
standing there.
Waffleberg will sit at the table. Now, come now. Just because she's standing there just means she simply has a bit of a social issue. You know, sometimes people don't like talking to other people straight off the bat. But the only way that you can get somebody to talk straight off the bat is by going right in and talking to them, saying, hi, hello, how are you doing? Speaking of which, you look like this fella I met in a caravan down over by, what was the place name, my dear? Stone something.
Stonefalls?
Stonefalls, yeah. A bunch of Wintersclaw fellas down over by there. Very nice people. Low lady, very sweetheart.
As soon as you say that, there's someone like a nearby table shouting, that's my grandma, probably.
Sorry? Who says that?
Someone over on the nearby table is just like raised a tank and just shout that.
What did they say? I didn't hear them.
They shout, that's my grandma, probably.
Well, Waffleberg will stand.
Hi, lady.
Yeah, she says hi.
Hey!
Hey.
The ones at the table, they just look at the drink. It's like, well, we probably best get going. We've got hunts to do.
Just kind of goes, can I do an insight on them?
Yes.
Damn it.
They're uncomfy and want to leave.
I can tell that much, but are they hiding anything?
Waffleberg, they're hiding stuff.
Now, my good friends, I've just come bought you a drink and you haven't even fully taken up on the seconds. Come now. What are you hunting? I like good stories.
Well, we're hunting. You see them reluctantly sit back down. We're hunting elnucks for the meat.
Ah, you're hunting elnucks. That's quite nice. Interesting, honestly. See, I've been thinking about starting a little bit of a business because we don't get a lot of really good food over in Piltover. Like, we get some good food, but not a lot of, like, new food, if you understand what I'm saying. We get from Nakatha.
Delris.
But
Yeah. Alari.
Yeah, Alari, sorry. As this conversation's going on, there is quite clearly someone on the table who's trying to hide the face from you.
Can I move around to try and get a better look at them?
Are you going to be trying to do this subtly, or?
I'll try and do it subtly, yeah.
But I've been thinking about renovating that old house. There's a nice, lovely old house out there, and I've been trying to figure out who I could see about renovating it, starting up like a little Elnuck shop,
You
and then getting people.
You don't want to go to that house. That house is cursed.
Oh, it's cursed. That makes it even more lovely. We have this love for cursed objects. Tell me, why is it cursed?
The one that you try to get the view of, they put their hand up on the side of their face, just as you get to it, Alari.
I'll just kind of, can I just like kind of reach around and put my hand under their chin and go, look at me, dear.
Roll me persuasion with disadvantage.
The way my rolls have been going.
Ooh.
I mean, they're not opposed, but they keep their hand on the side of the face as you do.
Why don't you want me to see?
Why would you want to see my face?
Because you're specifically trying to hide it.
I'm not trying to hide it, I'm just resting.
Oh yes, everyone rests for completely covering the side of their face. Come on, dear. It can't be that bad. Did the bear bite you? Show me.
No, and I think you'd rather want to drop the subject.
And why would I? I'm quite curious as to why.
Because the Sky Mother's watching.
She can watch all she likes. I just want to see your pretty little...
persuasion with disadvantage again, I'd say.
That was a really bad cutout for me.
What happened?
I just want to hear your pretty little.
13. Look, I'd rather not, you know?
Why is that?
Old battle wound I'm not too proud of.
You've got an old battle wound. I've got an old battle wound. Show me, I show you. Show me yours, I show you mine.
Fine, but
Yes,
only
one
you.
of Greeks.
Alrighty, only me.
And he will turn. He'll try and do it so he's blocking Alari's view of this.
Yeah, Waffleberg will step around to the other side of him.
Yep. And he moves his hand to show a burn mark.
Ah, that's quite a beautiful one.
You can roll
If we
you can roll an investigation on that. Yeah, no, it's just a burn mark.
Yeah.
That's quite a shiner. Here, now I'll show you mine.
Waffleberg will lower his jacket and he will go ahead and kind of unbutton his shirt, and he will kind of show the shoulder area where his arm attaches, and it will go ahead and show similar burn marks, except instead of the skin being, like the classic red, it is this dark black and purple.
So it's the one with the metal line that you're showing it, isn't it?
Yep.
Remind again, is your arm reflective?
No, it is sadly not reflective.
Okay. I'm about to say Alari
It is a very dull bronzish golden kind of color with that sort of zonite, like almost like the zonite dull colors.
Oh yeah.
So it wouldn't be reflective, sadly.
I will say, Alari, if you want to get a peek at this, stealth.
You know what is reflective?
Go on.
Waffleberg's glasses.
That is true.
His spectacles are reflective.
So if
So
you
stealth.
stealth, if you want to just try and take a look yourself. Otherwise, you could try and do an insight on Waffleberg to see if he's trying to get the reflections on these glasses to show you. Yep, you look to Waffleberg. You notice the reflection in the glasses. Now roll me an investigation.
Pain.
You see the burn mark. I will have Stellara do this as well, just to see if it helps. Investigation. So Stellara sees it. She pulls you to one side, Alari. Did you notice that too?
Notice what?
Remind me again, your sister.
Mm-hmm.
When she, throws a punch, does she put her magic behind it?
Not usually, I don't think so. She can sometimes throw sun bolts, I think she calls them.
It's just.
But she doesn't really burn with her hand. That's more my thing, I guess.
Then maybe that's what you. Well, what I just saw then on his face, the burn mark. That was clearly in a fist shape.
Can I roll a wisdom or something? If I remember anything, like now that I've seen his face, do I recognize him at all?
Roll me a history.
History. God damn it! My rolls tonight!
Yes, you recognize him. He's singed.
Ah!
Not my curse.
No, wait, that's not right.
You do. Everyone just looks over you like, oh, the Albert's like. Hey.
It's nothing.
Yeah, she does that sometimes. Anyways,
Waffleberg's gonna button up his coat, covering the purple burns.
And a loud shout will ring over from the room. Everyone, silence!
Sort of
The
look
room goes
over.
quiet. You lot, you free.
Hmm?
oh, we okay? Are we being yes, yes?
The bird, the tall lady, and the blue lady.
Walk over.
Yep. It is the Sky Mother calling you over.
Shh.
You don't mind if I keep this going? Like you obviously know what I am, but you don't mind. I like this. It feels nice.
Yeah, because Waffleberg didn't look like a bird.
You caused quite a ruckus. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. So it'd be a case of you're the fancy man, the tall lady, and the blue lady
I mean,
over here.
I forgive her. She's a Scar Mother. I imagine she'd be able to see through simple illusion magics like that.
Yeah, but it's more a case of she'd probably be able to do it if you got closer.
Yeah.
It's like,
So,
kind of goes up.
yep. So as you walk
Keeps
over,
like a respectful distance.
she just looks you all down. You caused quite the quite the commotion there as you entered.
I like entering with a bang.
I think she's more referring to my situation with skin.
Indeed. Such skin we usually see only on those that serve the witch, and yet you clearly
Well,
have
I do
a
not.
free will.
I serve no one.
You serve no
It,
one.
it is honest to God true. I can't even get her to clean the table after dinner.
You serve no one, and yet you're here. Tell me then, you serve no one? Do you serve anyone? And she'll look to you, Waffleberg.
Nope. Never have once in my life? Well, okay, that's actually a lie, but he's long dead, like about a good 300, 400 years dead. But, also, he was my brother. But, you get what I'm saying.
And how about you? Who do you serve? And Stellara will actually look awkward at this point, just like looking side to side. And then just kind of point at whisper like, the moon? And the Sky Mother will just squint at this. Look like she's about to get angry before just letting out a laugh. Oh, you're one of those from Targon, aren't you? We get them all the time. They think that, oh, we can't get up our own mountain, so we'll try and get up one of Freljord's mountains to get closer. Doesn't end well for them. But that's beside the point. You. What are you?
Me?
Yes.
Well, as far as I've learned so far, my mother and father were explorers. They were from here.
They
Our
were,
house is somewhere in
she'll hold her
town.
hand up.
Um,
They were from here.
mm-hmm.
Come closer.
She'll just kind of walk closer.
As you walk closer, she will grab you by the face, like cheeks, and underneath it, and just kind of pull you closer. As she inspects you with her good eye.
Alari definitely doesn't appreciate this, but she's not going to snap right now.
She is going to roll a history check of her own. One of the runts return. She pushes you away.
Runts?
Yes, quite a few years back we had a couple of street urchins wandering around. Their deadbeat mother left them to die, and yet they refused. Normally, such will and such fortitude would be valued by us, but there is something just not natural with you at all. Whatever happened to that sister of yours?
Oh, she's around.
I'm surprised she didn't come here first thing then.
Well, you see, we had a little bit of an issue. Someone from Zon showed up and nabbed us a while back.
Yeah,
Lost some of our prey for a bit.
they'll tend to do that. That's why you don't see so many street orphans in the Freljord.
Well, we've recently found out that one of those Zonites, a particularly nasty one, is here. Looking for the world ruin.
And you think he's going to find it.
Actually, out of anybody on this world, he will probably be the one to find it.
Considering it seems like he was in our old house.
Then why should we care? He'll just be obliterated like the rest.
Not him.
I mean,
You assume a lot out of an individual. I apologize. I'm not
It-
meaning to interrupt
it's
too much here.
it's not so much assuming, it's just going off history. There's only been a couple of people that made it back from there.
Yet this is a man who makes it his entire job to change history full front and full forth, so much so that no matter how evil this man is, he has the backing of an entire nation because of his ability to change history. You do know of Singed, yes?
The name vaguely rings a bell.
This is a man who makes it his life's goal to take people apart and put them back together again, just to see if it's possible. If anyone can get to your world runes and survive while also finding a means of gaining their power, it is him. And if he does it, well, your little thralls, they will be the least of your worries. This is a man that creates weapons that kill even that which is unkillable, weapons that choke the living life out of the world.
You think he's going to try and weaponize the world rune?
Yes.
Or worse.
Well, or I don't know what. Well, he could. I don't know what's worse than him weaponizing it, to be honest.
Trust me, he can figure out things far worse than just making
I'm
a
not
weapon.
doubting him, but at the same time, either
So
way,
what would you have us do then?
well, help us stop him.
Well, I do hold quite the position in the Winter's Claw. That isn't my decision to make.
Then who is it?
That would be hers. And then you all feel the cold on your backs as the doors are flung open.
Kind of look around.
And you see before you, stood at the doorway, her. She removes her helmet, just tucks it under one arm, and looks over at you three. So, who wants to talk?
I do.
And you are?
My name's Alari.
No last name?
None that I can remember currently.
And what about you?
Who, me?
That's
Do you
Waffleberg.
do you see anyone else around here trying to fool our eyes with a glamour? Well, aside from her as well.
I mean,
This is more. This is normally what I look like. It's complicated.
yes. Hi, my name is Waffleberg. Um, there is a first name. It'd be better for everyone here if I'm not the one that says it, and then nobody says it just for mental purposes.
He is Waffleberg. That's
Yes, Waffleberg.
That's-
Waffleberg is Waffleberg.
Well,
and this is
yours?
Stellara.
That works. My name is Sejuani, War Mother of the Winter's Claw. Yep, there's your reaction. Oh, sorry, that just attracted me there because I was saying that, and then go, Sejuani? And I'm like, yeah, no, that's her canon name. So she'll just look at you. So why should I divert all my resources into helping you?
Because if he manages to harness the power of the world ruin, it won't just be your enemies that get burned away.
It's more a case of if we were to help you with this, what would you give us in return?
What do you want?
You're from the Freljord, yes?
Yes.
And from what I've gathered intel-wise, as well as just overhearing stuff as I was seen to bristle, you've got some history with this place.
Yes. My family is from here.
Then what I ask of you is this. You and your little group that you have, swear your loyalty and help us take down the Avarosans.
You're asking a lot from a group of strangers that you have no idea the capabilities.
Indeed I am.
How are you sure that we can even help you?
Well, going off the fact that this one is walking into here glamoured up, must have some magical capabilities. This one's quite clearly from Targon, you can tell by the features. And as for you, well, I've heard the stories.
What stories might those be?
The ones that leave scars. And she will let out a loud whistle and point to the table that you're all sat at before. The one that tried to hide his face will sheepishly stand up and walk over.
Yep.
And she'll just grab him by the face and turn it so you see the punch.
Mhm.
Now, I know that your memory may be a bit fuzzy, but you try telling me that wasn't you.
I don't remember, but specifically, I can't deny it. Because I don't remember, but also, I don't think it was my sister. She doesn't really use fire that way. It's likely me.
The Scar Mother will chuckle. Yes, I do remember your sister quite a bit. Hot-headed, wanted to prove herself, but never really used her gifts too much.
Are we talking about the same sister?
What?
Well, she was back in the day anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You shouldn't meet her now.
Well, you know what to say. Mummy issues can give you a bit of an attitude.
I never knew my mom.
But yes, I do remember. Delris, was it?
My sister, yes.
She did try to get into the Winter's Claw herself. Hung around with these idiots when they were younger as well. In fact, I believe that's why you gave him a punch.
Maybe.
You saw him as a bad influence.
Hmm. Like I said, my memories. Yeah. But yes, that definitely doesn't sound like Delris now. She's very different from what you remember.
People always change when they grow up. Hence why we're asking you rather than her.
Or when they experience mass amounts of trauma and left behind
That's
by the
true.
people that could have been their family, but just because a bunch of people were afraid of them and ended up getting their face burned for one reason or another by a child, no wonder you are fucking ashamed. Nice scar, though. When you look in the mirror, very beautiful.
He does seem around your age, by the way. It should be noted, Alari.
Just kind of looking at Waffleberg, like, didn't expect that.
So I have a very strong distaste for individuals that don't like people simply because they think someone is cursed.
Besides, we already know that you lot are skilled enough.
How would you know that?
They will take a couple of slips of paper, unfurl them, and just kind of throw them to you. And you'd recognize the logo on these instantly. It's the Piltover Times. One of them being the slamming report of you destroying a valuable ship.
That fucking paper!
I thought he fixed that.
One of them, it still dated back to the out time ones, like probably on the first publish. But the second one, actually being one praising you for saving Piltover.
Hmm. I don't like that newspaper.
Like I said,
Far too many issues.
You want to know a fun fact? The dude that writes he's a common buyer from Wop Wop.
yes, a couple of pilties that came by had these. Of course, when we realized that we kind of recognized someone in the pictures, we kept them. Just to keep tabs, just there in case. And once you know it, you're here now. You're always bound to come back, weren't you?
Possibly. Though, in all honesty,
How about this then? We sweeten the pot. We help you do this in exchange for you helping us. And on top of that, we'll track your mother down.
see, that doesn't really sweeten the pot. I don't want anything to do with that woman. Whether she left or not, it was me and Delris who survived without her. And we don't need her.
And you don't have questions for her of why she did?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Delris might, but I could probably answer that too. You see, I figured out a long time ago. I was the one who had to grow up, work, keep us alive while an entire town shunned us and threw things at us from a distance. I want nothing to do with her.
Can you say the
So
same
that does
for your
not sweeten the pot.
Can you say the same for your sister, though?
I can't, but she's not here right now. And
No.
she doesn't get to make this decision.
No, but
As
when
you said, that's why you're asking me.
yes, but when she finds out,
When she finds out, she'll get over it.
after all, given that we've seen you come back here, we do have some scouts going around the village trying to find her.
You won't.
I mean, you say we won't, but we've already had word that there are still some people in that old abandoned hut of yours.
Yes, well, she's not with them. Just kind of looks very casual about that. It's like, she's not with them. You won't find her.
Then where is she?
Wouldn't you like to know?
We would. After all, if she is going to be helping us out as well, we'd like her input.
Or would you like to manipulate her? Sorry, I apologize, but using the mother thing, that's a bit of manipulation, an old trick used by a lot of war generals, take a child's mother, use the child's mother for a child to join the military. Very nice, very archaic. Brings back strong nostalgia here, but I can assure you that whatever Alari okays, her sister will go with as well. And a little bit more so than Alari, her sister is a little bit more trustworthy because her sister doesn't really understand the concept of lying.
As you say this, both the Scar Mother and Sejuani will just squint at you, just giving you the dirtiest glare. Before smirks appear on their faces, the Scar Mother just kind of washes you with her thumb and just looks at Sejuani. This one knows his stuff.
Either way, I mean no disrespect to you or your clan, but I would rather face Singed alone than get involved in a war that has nothing to do with me.
So what you're saying is we just leave you to it.
You left us to it, to starve and scrape by and try and survive alone.
And when you've
We just thought,
when you've taken care of him, what do you do with the world rune?
I don't particularly need anything from that thing, unless it can give me what I want. Which I don't think it can, so probably nothing.
Very well then.
And if you're so interested in it, its safety and what it is.
We will give you 2 weeks. If you haven't,
And what's it supposed to be?
it's more a case of 2 weeks to sort this out. And then we're going to send scouts down to Valar's Hollow. If you're still there, if he's still there and managed to get the better of you, we'll see what happens then. If you've cleared it out and the world rune's still there, well, it's there for the taking. If the world rune is gone, well, we'll be sending some people down to Zone, as well as people to try and track you lot down.
Do you really think using the power of that thing is going to win you your damn war?
It'll give us
I
the advantage.
Don't your people have a legend about someone who stole the world rune's power for himself and became a monster? Something utterly hated.
Yes, we do.
And
That's
wouldn't
why
you
we're not going to be
consider
as foolish as him.
You think you can avoid it? That's precious, dear.
We've had time to think about ways to utilize it without just snatching it like he tried. There's
Look
more
here.
than one way to use an energy source.
Oh, yes, definitely. My friend here would know all about that, but still. You feel like you have to use some energy force that is not your own power to defeat your enemies? How can you call yourself a war mother if you can't defeat your enemies with your own strength?
I'm actually more impressed that somebody that cares so much for her ancestral royalty is willing to allow it to die just for the sake of a war to prove whose balls are bigger in a war between sisters.
Okay, so first things first. Persuasion there, Delris.
Alari, yep.
Alari, sorry. Waffleberg. Make me a dex save.
Waffleberg will take it.
Okay. Waffleberg, you're being punched in the face.
Waffleberg's okay with this. She will very much be able to feel the feathers.
She is no sister of mine.
And yet you are willing, just for this individual, to allow your entire home die for the sake of a very petty war.
This isn't petty, this is our future we're talking about.
Oh, it's your future. I apologize. We're arguing here about future when there's not going to really be a future when people die. But, 2 weeks to make sure that somebody really badly doesn't get a power source, just so that you can manipulate people into joining your war, just so that you can continue to fuel a war that continues to destroy your future, just so that you don't have to help people to stop your future. You sound like a bunch of babbling fucking children. And trust me, I'm from an entire nation of people that only care about themselves and their only fucking agendas. I don't give a shit about your ways or what little squabble you've got going on here. But their homes, every single one of their homes, is far more important than your little war. And yet you want to manipulate people into joining your war, even when an enemy far greater than anything that you've ever met walks into a source of power far greater than anything you have ever seen that could annihilate everything. But no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but your war with the Avarosans appears to come first, despite the fact that when that war ends, there may not be anything left for you to take. I come from a fucking desert. Wasn't always a desert.
They're just quiet for a moment. And then
What's more
the Scar Mother just looks to you. Thought you said you were from Zorn.
in recent times?
Sometimes we don't like the fact of where we come from. Sometimes we don't like the fact of the people that we're related to, or the people that are from the same place that we are.
What's more important to you? Your people's lives? Or a petty grudge?
A grudge would be settling things over a drink, or just settling things because someone looked at someone else the wrong way. This is
And what's this? You're going after a much smaller group.
You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I see now. I see all of you for what you are. In Shurima, we do have words for you, and in Zon, we have other words for you that's a far crueler, because I'm going to be honest here, that dialect is not a pretty one. You can't help us because you are so blinded by this war, and that's okay. I can't judge you. I've been in the same spot you are, which is why I know the outcome. You lot have a wonderful day. If we need you, well, I suppose your scouts in 2 weeks will find out if we do or if we don't.
Just kind of leans. She doesn't move. She's just still kind of staring Sojani down a little bit. And it's like, from someone who is from, I am ashamed to be Feliordian because of this war.
Unless she's staring down at you. She looks to your shoulder and just plucks something off it.
Hmm?
Just raises it to her nose. And then just stares daggers at you.
What?
She
You
just
got something
walks.
to say?
She just walks, heads to the doors, and then stops and clicks her fingers. Men and women of the Winter's Claw, do not let these three leave.
Oh,
We've found our Yeti poachers.
We're not poachers.
Then why do you have Yeti fur on you?
Because we
Because we
saved a
saved
little
the
red
baby.
creature.
We saved a baby Yeti whose parents have been killed by the very man who's going to your world ruin, you fool.
Why would he want Yetis?
Why does he want anything? To tear it apart and figure out how it works. See what he can fuse it with to make it his own personal puppet. To manipulate its power for his own gain. That's what we've been telling you.
The Scar Mother will actually just kind of blank stare. And then just... Oh, fuck.
What?
He's trying to recreate it.
Recreate what?
And he'll slowly look to you, Alari. You.
Me?
Remember how I said only a couple managed to survive?
Yes.
One of them was your mother. And when she came back, a month or so later, she gave birth to you and your sister. And you came out, well, like you are. If he's got so much history with you lot, and with you too, and yet you're free from him, maybe he's
If he
trying
can't
to
have both.
recreate it. But
He
with a
can't
lot
have
of...
us.
He can't have you, he's trying to create a better you. One with a lot more of a controllable mind, but with a lot more brute strength. He's going to try and infuse a Yeti.
Hmm. Then it's vital that the baby stays away from that world run. Because for us to work, he needed two.
And if there are two, there's always two parents to a baby Yeti, of course.
Of course. But even still, it'd be better not to give him any more temptation. Would you look after the child here? And keep her safe?
The bigger question is, what's in it for us?
Seriously,
Oh
it's a baby!
Is this what this is? Is this what this is? You don't give a shit about people. You don't give a shit about families or anything like that.
You don't care about the Yetis you were just accusing us of poaching? You wouldn't even
Congrats.
care for one of their children.
People of the Winter Claw, you disappoint me.
Fuck this.
And then the Scar Mother just laughs. Sorry, we just wanted to see that rage again.
Hmm.
Leave the child here and we will look after her.
Good. And if anything happens to her,
If anything happens to her, I'm blowing all of you up. No offense taken, but it is a baby.
come on. Better get back to the others. Before the other one does something.
As Waffleberg goes to the door, if Sejuani's still at the door,
She is.
he will look at her.
If you're going to close the door on this opportunity, you have not been the most enlightening of individuals. And I weep for you and for those that you have lost to make you so filled with hate and madness. But we are very small people. And we cannot focus that hate and madness and forget about the people around us. Because there will not be anything left.
Oh.
Also, you have a really nice pig, like collection of pigs. They're adorable.
Alari will also kind of stop to see her on the way out. It's like, just kind of like, in another life we probably would have been friends. But it's a shame you can't see past your own. She'll just keep walking.
Yeah, again, I feel like that's one of those ones where it cut out on the worst word. We could have been friends in her life, but you can't see past your own.
She said, we could have been friends in another life, but it's a shame you can't see past your own pride.
She'll just scowl as you both leave. With Stellara just kind of sheepishly following behind.
Honest-
We both leave with these like big statements, and the Stellara's just there like.
The moment that they get outside, and the moment that they are no longer being seen, Waffleberg will look to Alari. That went a lot better than I thought, and then he will look to Stellara. And you're glamored.
What?
They said you were glamored. They said two people. Oh no, they were talking about you, weren't they, Alari?
Yes, yes.
Apologies. I can't hear very well sometimes. This year, it's not real. Also, I don't have ears. I'm a bird person.
I'll just kind of look to Stellara as like, so much for bringing you along to be the calm-headed one.
I mean, I was calm.
That is true. She did do her job pretty well. We never said that she actually had to talk.
That's true.
I just never got the word in edgeways.
Yeah, exactly. See, this is how you deal. See, this is diplomacy when it comes to people who are warlike. You just scream at each other for 5 hours straight.
Anywho.
I'm glad Dara joined up with them.
While all that was going on, suppose that was back at the house. Kuiper, Potoo, and Mariah, what were you three doing?
Entertaining with the pan flute, probably teaching them some words.
Okay. Mariah?
Intensively watching in the background.
Okay, so Kuiper, you're here. Just try to teach the baby new words while playing the pan flute. They just look up. You look away for a second, you look back. Mariah's also sat there now. Potoo, what were you doing?
I'd imagine after making sure that nobody was really leaving, I would probably settle on the bed that doesn't have purple on it.
Okay.
The broken
And yeah, I'm just going to use Devi to scout the area and make sure we're not getting snuck up upon.
Okay. So, Devi returns to you after a little bit and does indeed report there are at least 4 people watching you. All of which seem to be Winter's Claw people. What was that?
Don't worry about
it.
It's the signal!
Wilhelm starts rolling down a wall with a bunch of bombs attached to him with a rocket launcher.
Wait, no! Sorry, go.
Upon learning this information, the two will relay it to both Kuiper and Mariah.
Yep. So you
And upon giving that information, I'm going to go outside.
Yep. As you head outside, make me a perception.
Perception. Dirty 20.
Okay. Kuiper, you can make me a perception as well then.
Okay.
Nice. Don't know why the first one was
You
wrong.
immediately get hit in the.
I mean,
advantage only if it's hearing.
First one was
You
the.
immediately get hit in the face with snow.
So
yeah, only if it's hearing.
The good news is it's not on that one. The bad news is it's not on that 20 either.
Damn it.
So you're struggling to see him. Potoo, however, you do see someone that seems to be dressed in furs, just watching from a distance. They seem to be holding what seems to be some kind of crossbow. But they don't seem to be
Dude
aiming it at the building.
Dude just kind of squints his eyes looking. And if they're close enough, he's just going to shout, "If you're going to shoot us, at least let us know why."
The figure will emerge outwards and just look to you. Just stay in the building and everything will be fine. Our boss is currently speaking.
Are we being?
Our boss is currently speaking to your other friends that actually went up there.
Ah. So we're hostages.
It's more we're keeping an eye on you until we know your intentions.
Right.
There is a, I don't know who's speaking, but there is a child in here. You should probably be careful.
There's a what in here?
There is a
There's a
child in
child.
here.
And they will look to you, Kuiper.
Just shouting out one of the windows at the top floor.
Are you glamoured?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of child is there up there?
Providing it hasn't.
Is it one of the locals? Or you kidnapped one of the locals, or do you have a child of your own there?
Is the child glamoured?
The child is glamoured to look like Kuiper in Yordle form, if I recall.
Shit.
Except it's if I remember correctly, it's a little bit smaller than Yordle, so you could very easily just play it off as it's your baby.
That is true.
Just unglamour and say it's a Yordle child.
Just very quickly, wraps them up in the wraps they were in earlier. Just very vaguely holds it near the window.
It just licks the window. It's not even like a quick lick, it's just like the place's tongue just slowly leaves head back and you get like that.
Don't let it get tongue stuck to the window, please.
Oh.
The bigger question is, why are you here at this? Why are you here at this building?
This used to be a residence of one of our friends who went to talk.
So that was her that we saw then. So that means that the other one's in there with you.
Other one?
Very long and complicated story. I'm pretty sure she could explain it better.
Oh,
but if you're not going to kill us, would you like to come and hang out?
Would prefer to keep our distance, if that is fine with you.
That is fair. This place is trapped. Should probably have added that. Not by us.
We did see someone entering there earlier. Like a
Did we
couple of
not
days
disarm
ago.
the only trap there was?
Sorry, how earlier?
A couple of days ago. A small group led by a guy with a large shield entered there.
Was he glowy green?
He had some green on him, yes.
That's a bad guy. Next time you see him, you should kick his butt.
I like your style.
At this point, while you're talking to this one at this one end, you will hear the stairs go.
Stairs?
Yes.
Why are the stairs making noise?
You look over, and there is someone peeking into this room here. It's another one of the Winter's Claws, who sneaks in through the back way.
Hey. Could have, alerted us of your presence.
Yes, you could have alerted us of this one then. And they will hold up Mariah.
just points, holds up finger.
You've got a Yordle with you. Why are you
I'm a
associating with Yordle?
beautiful Yordle.
Why are you associating with Yordles?
I didn't know.
Traveling companion?
We haven't had Yordles in these parts for ages. Not to mention where Yordles are, usually Yetis are nearby.
I'm a bomb.
They just slowly look to Mariah upon saying that.
I
then
don't
just-
know whether to believe her or not.
Are you weaponizing Yordles?
That is not my choice, points to Mariah.
I'm
Well.
not sure at this point whether it would be better for them just to show Kuiper's a Yordle or not.
They just kind of stood there, holding Mariah at arm's length now. You're like, is this one of these
Yeah,
cases?
that's right.
Is this one of these cases where it's going to be like a word trigger, or is it an impact trigger?
I don't even know.
Okay.
She's a bomb.
I'm gonna have to do this for safety. And he will run into the room.
Which room?
The room where you're all bouncing around and that lot.
Oh,
Oh, good. Is he poking his head out the window now, too?
No.
No.
In fact, he's
Can
breaking.
I hear all this?
He's breaking the glass and he's throwing Mariah out the window.
no.
Oh, good. Do I need to catch her, or is she landing in a snowbank?
You're probably going to need to catch her.
Okay, dexterity.
12?
23.
Oh, 23. Yeah, you just kind of fly out the window after and catch her in your talons.
I'm outside.
Oh, yes, you are outside. Then you fly up and catch her. Why did you catch
know-
a bomb?
Okay,
I
now
threw it
just-
out there just in case it exploded.
I'm not.
She's
going
not
to
a bomb.
explode anytime soon. I haven't.
Please don't throw
exploded
my
yet.
other companions out. Looking dead at the one that's
Put
outside with
Zand
him.
on the shoulder of the guy that's out the window. Don't throw our friends. They will hurt you.
At this point,
Tell me more about this figure you saw a few days ago.
large, like scarf thing over the mouth, maybe some bandages, large hook to like
Oh.
nose, 2 different eyes, large canister.
Exactly who I thought. Okay.
Clearly glowy green guy.
So now
Yes.
that you're here, how about you call your friends in, so we can not be sniped?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? He'll chuckle and just like walk toward the windows. And as he does so, the rest of you,
Hmm.
you arrive to see quite clearly one of the winters claws stood in the field looking at the building. Potoo carrying Mariah in his talons.
Looking.
And the one that's got their back to you hasn't noticed you 3 yet. Well, still are around you 2 yet.
Ah,
Waffleberg's just like
Alari.
uncomfortably close to the dude. He's just peeking his beak over the dude's like right shoulder.
Alari's just gonna walk right past him. Like just walking straight up to the house. Like,
No, you don't go. There's a bomb apparently.
she's not going to explode. I know that bomb.
No, she's not
Potoo
going to.
just
She won't explode unless you say a very specific phrase.
Potoo just kind of waggles Mariah at them jokingly.
Mariah, roll on
Ooh,
your
scary.
Mariah, roll on your explosion chart.
And that phrase just so happens. That phrase just so
Right,
happens
let's
to
see
be.
what I get.
She's a
What will
bomb.
Mariah explode into today? Confetti. Green slime. More eggplants.
I like to
Cuckoo
actually
clock.
think that Waffleberg actually has like one of his trinkets, and like every few days it just explodes in like confetti or some shit. Like it's not even a legit explosion; it just shoots out some random thing from the box.
It's just like a magical party hopper.
I'm just imagining Mariah just vibrates just very, very harshly, very violently. And then just like,
Sort of
It's
walks
like
up,
we gave Mariah too
walks
much
up, just walks
coffee.
right in the house. Walks right upstairs to where the others are.
Yep.
Takes the bundle from Kuiper.
Thank you.
Is like,
You may-
what is going on here?
well, couple of things first. One, you may want to get that baby looked to. That baby doesn't look right. Two,
She's an adorable child.
You
Shush.
fucking excuse me. What? Sorry. What did you say about my friend Moonman's baby?
they'll look to you, Kuiper. Look to the baby. Look back to you. Were you having relations with some kind of rodent or something?
Yeah.
No,
see,
they're a
he
duck.
may or,
Oh.
he may or may not have screwed a rabbit, but any other way, it's not much different than the guy that on the way here was screwing a pig. Anyways,
Just burying his face in his hands. It's like, no.
Okay. So firstly, did you throw my friend out a window?
Yes, he did.
She's a.
Don't
Don't lie, you did.
Right
not
up to it.
I mean, I didn't even get a chance to defend myself. She said she was.
I just
She said she was a bomb. No one was denying that she could be a bomb. So I threw her out the window before she blew up.
Have you never called your friends the bomb before?
No.
Like
It's
Alari,
really old.
Alari will kind of like walk right up to him. It's like, I have burned someone by punching them in the face before, and don't hesitate to do it again unless you apologize.
I just kind of
Okay,
looked at you after you said that.
we've obviously gotten off on the wrong foot.
Her hand starts to glow with fire.
Hi, we're the people that just came back from talking with your
Wait,
boss.
wait.
Her hand will just keep glowing with fire as
Alari?
she's just kind of staring at him.
Alari?
Do I know you?
He just kind of tilts his head and then chuckles. Oh, what's that noise?
What?
I don't know. For some reason, just like, do I know you? Well, maybe. And then I thought I heard someone making a little kissy noise. I thought it was just Waffleberg.
Moonman, stop kissing.
Alex trying to shit people again. Get him.
Moonman, stop kissing the rabbit.
We have a
Just
rabbit.
like-
Still, I was just peeks around the corner. There's a rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
someone's on
sorry. Hold on. Ignore them for a minute. Do I know you?
Yeah, years back. It's been years since I saw you last. You're only this high when I used to see you.
Looks at like the height.
He is quite an oldish gentleman.
I'm afraid I lost some of my memory. So I'm sorry that I don't recognize you.
Name's George. I used to sneak food out to you for you and your sister to help, you get by.
Oh, thank you.
Didn't
And
know
I,
it were
like-
you lot that we've been assigned to. I should have guessed with the old house. I just thought that given we'd had a couple of intruders here the past couple of days, it might be more intruders. And then we saw these lot.
These are my friends.
You've got a weird taste in friends.
It's what you get when you meet half of them in Bilgewater and the other half in Piltover and Zon.
And apparently a Yordle as well.
Oh, don't mind Mariah.
It's very hard to not mind Mariah when she accuses herself of being a bomb.
She always... It wasn't even her that started that.
Okay, that's actually my fault.
Oh,
She-
this
how
has
I
gone way too
defend
far. It is
myself.
time to stop, but we will never stop.
She is a bomb, but I do promise you she will not explode unless I pull the switch.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to her. Definitely not her. She doesn't know where she is half the time. I mean, she might also exactly not know where she is because she whacked her head on the ceiling earlier and might have a concussion.
He kind of looks up, kind of laughs. Yeah, if I recall right, your sister did the same thing.
That explains a lot.
Speaking of which, where is she right now? Thought she would have been with
Oh,
you.
it's a long story.
That's exactly what your friend said as well, if I recall.
Yes. Not a story that I would tell to just anyone.
Either way, you said you'd seen the boss.
Yes. We're taking. You don't need to worry about. Boss has agreed to look after it while we go and handle some business.
Look after what, the baby?
Yep.
Well, that means she's probably going to end up being lumped with me, so...
Just kind of shoos the other guards away.
Oh,
Yep.
that reminds me, Alari.
Go on.
Singed
Away.
was here
You
2
go
days
away.
ago.
What?
Singed was here 2 days ago.
Oh, for fuck's sake. He's 2 days ahead of us already.
Nods.
Just kind of shoos the other guards away. Shoot, shoot. On the end.
It's
Shoot.
only him that's inside at the moment. The other guys are
okay.
outside.
I'll cut
The
his
other
lifter
ones
up
were
and go,
too scared.
you can look like yourself again, dear.
She just looks here, turns into a tiny Mariah.
No, not that one. Other one.
Tiny Waffleberg.
No. You. Points at her, pokes her stomach.
Dude just holds up Smee.
Turns into... just trying to get her to turn into other stuff. She will turn into Umpa.
Just kind of cradling her. This little one.
That's a Yeti.
Yes, but she is a baby. She just lost her parents to the men that were chasing down.
Oh.
He may have taken them, trying to do some sort of experiment with. But for now, your Scar mother has agreed to look after her.
Indeed. Well,
Keep her safe.
I will do. Don't worry about that.
Is there anything off about this guy?
Yeah, that's
Insights?
before handing baby over inside.
Yeah. I'm like giving baby to stranger.
Other instincts activate.
Is there anyone else rolling insight?
Oh, yes. No, I didn't want that. There we go.
Yeah, he will take care of the baby.
Can I roll a history or wisdom? See if I remember him at all.
Sure. Roll me a history. You'd remember that back when Delris was trying to get into the Winter's Claw, she did befriend at least a couple of them. And despite not making it in after you made your intentions clear for her, at least 1 or 2 people still tried to remain friends with her. One of them being
Yeah.
George, who, as he said, did provide food for you.
I'll kind of look at him and go, it's... Before we move on, it's a very complicated situation with myself and my sister. That man we're chasing down did terrible things to us.
Oh.
We are no longer really us. Better to show you. And she'll just kind of let the glamour fade. So she looks like Delris again.
Wait,
Time for
Delris?
silly amount of
kind of.
It's just...
But she's got the blue eyes and
Yeah.
the blue hair still.
What happened?
He abducted us here, and he did some experiments on us. Somehow fused us into one body. My mind is in Delris's body, and she is also here, but she's not aware right now.
You'll see him just kind of get like the 1,000-yard stare as he just takes a seat on one of the beds.
I know. It's a lot to take in. As for us too.
I'm a killer.
Delris doesn't remember anything. What?
I'm a killer.
Kill who?
I'm a tracker down and I'm a killer.
Who?
He just kind of looks up here. He's like, I'm so sorry if I'd known beforehand what she was doing.
Who was doing?
He kind of looks away. I don't know if I should say.
George.
Now-
You tell me. Right now.
Your mother came back shortly after you left the village. She'd learned some things from your father about tracking, kept tabs on you. She sold you out to Singed.
Just the fire will kind of start to flicker around her and stuff. The kind of blue flame that's more Alari. Well, as much as I'm not joining a war, I may have to join you in that quest for hunting her down and Grisp.
Yes, but
Do you,
First singed.
yes.
before you go,
Hmm?
you'll look to those that are still in the room. Do you mind giving me and her some time? I feel like there's some stuff I need to catch her up on.
Just nod respectfully and leave.
I'll take those 2 costs as a yes.
Looks at Waffleberg.
Waffleberg's already gone.
Okay,
Okay,
take a seat.
she'll take a seat. Purple.
So how much... Oh. Technically Mirai's still being carried off by...
No, the purple that was squished on the bed before.
Oh yes.
Just sits down. Oh, well.
Oh, god damn it! Not another one.
Oh my.
I'm
Either
the
way.
same one.
Go on.
So how much do you remember from your childhood?
Not a lot. Since I got back, I've had flashes here and there. Mother screaming at us when we're playing, and
Yes. Such a... It was never your fault why she was like that with you.
oh, I figured that much out. I think.
She'd... There's no easy way for me to put this. She placed the blame on you,
Mm,
on the both of you.
yes. Well-
She saw in you, well, your father, and she couldn't take that. Not after what happened.
I remember bits and pieces. Flashes here and there, but not overall a lot. I know
Was-
that I tried to take care of Delris as much as possible.
Yes,
The last thing I remember was waking up in that cell, like the last real memory I have.
when she left, it did quite the number on you both. As you said, you had to quickly grow up. Delris started resenting it. Started resenting that her mother was gone. She tried to join the Winter's Club thinking that that would bring her back. But, well, you saw how that ended up.
Yeah. And I'm very glad she didn't join.
Last I heard,
No offense.
yes, none taken. Last I heard about your mother, she headed up north.
Hmm. Well, we're heading which direction? Like,
Let
that
me
place?
let me flick back over to the other map. Just remind you, slightly north and to the west.
We're going northwest, so
You all just hear mandolin noises. You just see Potoo fly past the window.
ding 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 ding. And that's Potoo. But yeah, she'll just be like, I wonder if Delris will remember you. Would you like to speak to her?
I mean, if she's ready to.
Well, she hasn't been out since we've been here. So I guess it's good as time as any.
It will be a bit of a shock to her then.
Hmm. But you were her friends. That'll be.
Indeed.
She'll just summon the small produce flame in her hand.
Yep.
Fail. So yep, she switches. Now Delris, the eyes go back orange, and so the hair.
Yep. Do you
Yes,
find
hurry up.
yourself, Delris, in
Huh?
an old, dusty, musky room with a
Where?
stranger sat across from you?
And holding a baby yeti.
Yes.
Where am I? Oh my god, you're adorable!
Oh no.
It's just everyone else that's still in the building. Just overhears that from like downstairs. It's like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
The
she has
baby.
changed.
The baby.
Sounds like an
Who?
errant siren going
Who
off.
are you?
I am George. Do you not remember me?
Check. Any check at all?
History. History.
That's worse for Delris. That's why I was thinking wisdom, because wisdom is usually for remembering shit. But
Yeah, but remembering shit implies that you've got the memories. History is trying to recall
Oh,
forgotten memories.
Delris is just there like, no,
that's sad.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It has been years, and what with what your sisters told me.
You spoke to Alari already?
Yes.
Well, I guess that's why I'm here.
Do you,
But isn't she adorable? Look at her little cheeks.
you don't know where you are, do you, Delris?
Kind of looking around. No, not really.
Umpa will just hold out the doll. And I'm not going to even have you roll for this. The doll sparks something. Memories of you being led in the same bed you're sat on at the moment. And just being tucked in by Alari. Just being read. An old Freljordian tale as a bedtime story before you went to sleep.
I remember this.
Well, this was yours. This is your home.
It was.
Still is. No one else has claimed it.
Doesn't really feel like a home.
That's because you've been gone for so long.
How long have we been gone?
A few years by now.
A few years.
I mean, judging from your looks and let's remember, you all kind of set out and away from here, roughly 16 years old, I'd say. It was 18 when I last saw the bitch again. Well, it was 2 years after that when I last saw the bitch again.
Bitch?
Uh, no offense to this, but you're a mother.
My mother.
Mhm. And well, it's been 1 or 2 years since then. And here you
I
are.
only have memories for about half a year. After I woke up, after all Sin's experiments, we were out of Zon by then. We were on a boat heading to Bilgewater. And Alari was talking to me, telling me what happened to us, what's going on.
Indeed.
That's all I remember. I don't remember anything before that. What was I like? You said you knew me before?
Back when your mother was still around, kind of how you are now from what I'm getting a reading of you right now.
Hmm?
Once your mother left, you kind of grew a bit colder, a bit harsher. Kind of wanted to prove yourself. Started
Hmm.
running with the wrong crowds, and then eventually that led you to try and run with the Winter's Claw.
Just kind of like,
If I recall right, you even started resenting your sister around that point.
resented Alari?
Indeed.
Hmm. I mean, we've not always been on the same page, but
I think it's more a case of you saw her as trying to take your mother's place. Back in the day, you wanted your mother back.
hmm.
You were just trying to find your place in the world, and well, judging from your friends that I've seen, it looks like you've found it. Even if it is a life on the road.
Yeah, they're great. Waffleberg's kind of like a dad, even though he doesn't know he acts like it sometimes.
I'm
Well,
just,
maybe a grandpa who's senile.
I'm just
That's
I'm
imagining.
not senile.
what?
I was about to say, I'm just imagining several of them just like ears to the wall throughout all this.
Fuck off!
I would, but Moonman and Stella are here. And I'm afraid Moonman might try and do a rabbit. I'm afraid now that I know that's a thing.
Fucking
What?
hell. Either way.
I love how the what wasn't even like Kuiper, what? It was just Josh joining what?
Did I miss some?
So like, Waffleberg's kind of like a dad or senile grandpa. Kuiper's like a weird brother, I guess. He doesn't always know what's going on either, though.
What's the deal with the small purple one?
Mariah?
Is she a bomb?
No, not. I don't think so.
Hmm.
Like Waffleberg started calling her a bomb when we met him, but I don't know whether he actually meant it or not. He could have put a bomb in her hair. There's lots of things in her hair. But either way, no. Either way, Potoo's strange.
It's just
No,
Potoo.
other.
It's just Potoo just glide past away. They go with the mandolin. Just Potoo strange. They let it doing.
Potoo's Potoo. I don't mind Potoo that much, but Alari doesn't really like him. But we've been traveling with him since Bilgewater, so familiarity.
Why are you associating with Yordles though? That's the part that surprises me.
Why not Yordles?
Because Yordles tend to just be trouble for the most part.
I mean, Mariah is, for the most part.
Well,
I
there you
mean,
go.
how many situations have we been in because she can't not do something? She got kidnapped when we were in Piltover by someone because she thought that Mariah was a bomb
Oh,
and she wanted to use it to blow up people.
right. That does remind me. I probably will need to explain this to you as well. Uh, where it is someone from your past has been here?
Oh, Sin?
Yes.
That doesn't surprise me. He's kind of showing up everywhere these days. When we
Indeed.
first left Water, he showed up he was in Ionia. And that's like where we first met him again. And he tried to kidnap us. But then Alari kind of got this big guy called Draven to help us. I think he liked her a lot. But
It wasn't even a Alari. It was Grumble.
what?
It wasn't even a Alari who got him to help. It was Grumble.
Yeah, but he was already into Alari.
Oh, sorry.
I know, but it was Grumble who convinced him because he's like, she'll date you.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. His name was mentioned. I had to roll on the Draven chart. He hasn't appeared.
It's like, yeah, this big guy called Draven kind of had a thing for her, and he came to try and help save us. But there was this really cute girl who tried to come help us too. She got me out of prison, and then I think we were dating for a bit, and then I broke up with her because we were moving around so much, and I don't even know myself half the time. And it's
I'm not gonna lie. I always had the suspicion about you.
Wait, was I not like open with that before?
Uh, not to just everyone. No.
Well, I guess that explains some things about when I was first meeting some of these people.
There were
Either
rumors.
way. Huh. Either way. But yeah, we broke up. We lost all her in Piltover, but I've got a sending stone so I can still speak to her. And we met this other girl who rides around on a big metal horse. She's pretty cool.
Oh, that does remind me then. You have sending stones, yes?
Oh, yeah. She kind of pulls some out of the bag.
Do you have spare ones?
Oh, yeah, I got a bunch. I took them from this magic shop we helped protect. The guy died. But then there was a lot of sending stones.
So sending stones are starting to become like the cell phone cliche in video games, or in Pokemon, the freaking contact list that they've started doing in the new games.
Pretty much. But this time, it's for a good reason at least, because he'll just say, if you hand one over, I'll be able to keep in contact, so I'll be able to keep you updated on this little one.
Yeah, you can tell us how she's doing. Wait, we're leaving her with you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your sister and your friends have decided to head off to Valaris to basically try and stop Singed.
Oh. Well, sorry if I never see you again.
You say that so bluntly.
I'm sorry. So far, our encounters with Singe usually leave us leaving the place and never go back.
Oh. It's more a
I
case
mean,
of, I was thinking more of,
he wiped me from existence, so that's also a thing.
I was thinking more morbidly with that thought. I apologize.
Oh, well, he does want me dead. Particularly me. But, he wanted the Alari to be the only one in the body so that she had my strength and, athletic abilities, but also her magic and intelligence stuff. But then he couldn't even control us properly, and Alari's still not the full control one, and I'm still here, and he told me that he wants to just put me back on the table to try and wipe me out, but,
Either way, I feel like you've got a lot to discuss with your team before you set off for this.
I burned his feet.
That was always your get out of jail free card.
Hot foot.
Exactly. Either way.
This is. Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's just you always were a bit of a talker.
Oh, sorry. I haven't spoken to anyone who isn't these guys in a while.
Anyway,
It was friendly.
he will
Anyway.
reach into his bag and he will hand you a warm loaf of bread.
Aw. Bread.
Just like old times.
Bread.
The window somehow breaks again. Dorky reaches in and snatches bread.
It's just kind of there, like, yeah. Either way, yeah. The last time I talked to someone who didn't want to kill me, was that lady in the jungle, but then she was technically hunting us. So does that count?
Hunting can imply many different things.
I don't know. She was hunting us down. She was friend. We found out in the end that she was friends with Nico, though. That girl I was talking about earlier from Ionia.
Oh, yes. Say, I
Anyway.
don't suppose you could do me a favor, could you?
What?
While you're on your travels.
Mm-hmm.
There's a unusual thing wandering around out there that, well, you and your party may be able to find for me. Or at least get some information on. Because you know me, I'm all about the wildlife. That's how I know how to help raise a little baby yeti.
Cool.
Except I don't know you because I can't remember you due to a surgical experiment done by a crazy dude.
Something tells me that's definitely what Alari would have said.
Yeah. It's Alari.
He will hand over what seems to be a small paw print in the snow.
Mhm.
This doesn't look like any creature I've seen before.
Can I roll a nature?
Yes, you can.
Not this twin.
Yeah, you're not too sure on it.
I don't know what it is, but maybe Alari can figure it out. She was always smarter than me.
Size-wise, it looks a bit bigger than, say, your little Yeti friend here,
Mm-hmm.
but smaller than what Kuiper and Mariah would be.
She'll just kind of put the. I'm guessing it's like a mold of the print.
It's like a sketch.
Oh, okay, she'll just kind of put it in her pocket. It's like, I'll have Alari look at it. She might know.
The thing is, well, it's not the only paw print we found. There may be a parent with it.
Oh, well, I was thinking it's a bit bigger than the Yeti baby. But smaller than Kuiper and Mariah.
He will flip it over to show the same kind of scene, but more zoomed out. And you realize the snow that looked a bit flat around the small paw is flatter because it's a large paw print.
Oh. Baby was following Mama's footsteps.
Perhaps.
Either way, we'll keep an eye out.
We also found one of these nearby. And he will reach into his bag. And he will pull out what seems to be a small broken bone that looks like half of a jawbone. So maybe this thing was hunting some things, but seems a bit unusual.
We'll keep an eye out for him.
I appreciate you. You know how to keep in contact now.
Yeah, I've got your sending stone, and I'll paint a little picture of your face on it.
Huh.
Look, I've got this one that's got Waffleberg's face on it. I got this one that's got Nico's face on it. I've got this one that I still need to paint, but it's got somebody else's face on it.
I never,
So,
I never expected that.
what?
Well, when your mother left, you kind of gave up on art.
Really?
Yes,
I like drawing and painting and stuff.
the changes that happened.
Well, it's nice to meet someone friendly, even if we've met before and I don't remember you.
Indeed.
And I'm sorry.
Also, before I go, just a quick bit of advice.
Hmm?
Maybe keep an eye on your other small friend, not the bomb one, the other one.
Kuiper?
Yes, if your friend's words are to be believed, he's been having relationships with a rabbit.
I mean, I take whatever Waffleberg says with a grain of salt. And he was doing it to cover up the fact of this little one, probably.
That would make sense,
But
but then what was the form of that then? Like some odd rabbits with 3 eyes.
You don't need to worry about that. Also, not my secret.
What?
Nothing. It's been nice meeting you, George.
George will slowly get up, just pull you in for a hug. A little bit coffee on his face. No!
No.
Ah, yes. A bit of gently used rabbit.
Kind of hugs him.
Yep.
It's like,
And he will exit the room and just look to you all. Well, look to those that are there because Potoo's on the roof. Waffleberg, was it?
Yes.
Keep them safe for me.
That's what I've been doing. I've saved them like 7 times now.
Get the head out of the room. Like, we've saved you just as many.
Seriously, though, these people, they like attract danger. You might want to get away from here because, like, it's like, yeah, they're like magnets.
You also attract danger, you old coot.
I don't attract danger. I look for it.
Oh, yes, because you're looking through your familiar's eyes. That's on the roof at the moment, yes.
Having a good fly around.
And
Also,
George will...
you'll find that the other one's flying around up there too.
Oh, yeah.
Nyx is just flying around up there because it doesn't like Delris as much as it likes Alari.
You all hear George leave, and then you just hear him proclaim, "Huh, Seebles."
Party on the roof.
As you said that, there's just a pangolin with a jetpack just zooming about.
He just looks to Willow.
And then
What? Pulls out a piece of paper, starts to try and sketch it. Just like, what is this new life form?
is doing literally.
And that is where we will leave it for this week because we are on 3 hours.
Yep.
Perfect.
Granted, 10 minutes of those 3 hours just ran the discussion at the beginning.
I will say also, sorry for taking up so much time as the twins.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Hell no.
No, it's perfect.
No worries.
It's character development and backstory development. It's fine.
This is your
It's-
time.
it's-
Make the most of it.
Exactly. It's your
It's
time.
the
Make the
twins.
most of it. We move on to Kuiper next.
No, I'm not ready for that.
We drag his ass.
I don't even know where I'm going with this character.
We drag Potoo back to Bilgewater and make him face his fears.
No. We already know.
I fear nothing.
We already know what the next character. We already know which character we're examining next.
It's Mariah.
Yeah.
It's the
What is
X-Hunt.
this, Mariah? We went to her parents' house at freaking thing. Christmas.
Yes, but you don't know what Mariah got up to in Bilgewater.
Either way, I'm guessing we're going to take the baby Yeti. I didn't give her to George just yet.
I thought you gave it to George because George walked out with it.
Yeah, you did say that you gave it
Did
to
I?
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that Delris was just fangirling over this baby.
You were. Well,
Too
it was in his arms.
Look at her cheeks.
So either way, thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you all next time on the Dark Tides of Runeterra. And if there's no session next week, it's because something happened while we were out tomorrow.
Oh yeah. First time out in like in a year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Boy.
Bye.